Yay.
Okay, 6:15 on the dot. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the September 21, 2017 meeting of the Ayer Planning Board. This is an open session meeting. I hereby call it to order. I would ask my fellow members, I'm going to postpone announcements at this time because this meeting is going to be time sensitive. So the mere business before us is to approve the agenda and move on to opening a public hearing. So I would ask for a vote to approve the agenda. Motion to approve the agenda. Need a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And here's Mark now as we speak. All right, just in the nick of time. So having opened the meeting, I hereby open the public hearing that is before us for a site plan review of Ayer Solar 2, located off Washington Street / Groton School Road, as depicted on Assessor Map 13, Parcel 1 and 2, Map 4, Parcel 55, and Map 12, Parcel 1. The proposed ground-mounted solar facility, as presented by GPR Civil Engineering, is the representative for Ayer Solar 2. I declare the meeting now open. With that in mind, I have some opening comments. Again, personally, I need to leave at 7 o'clock because I have an outside commitment, but I would tell you in the background of that this meeting was posted, unfortunately, without my knowledge at the time. So I said, wow, I can't be there on the 21st. Well, this is just a little too important, so I need to be here. So my goal tonight is to open the meeting, stay as long as I can, to addressing issues in the 45 minutes we have, and then we will move on to a date certain as to continuing the hearing. Once I open the hearing, I have 90 days as a planning board to make a decision based on the matter before us. And my DPW superintendent is off in Italy tonight, so he couldn't be here. I know that he's working on many of the issues. I've worked with Kyle and GPR personally, and will continue to do so as your chair, to see that all of the questions and issues get addressed. Now, for me, and I'm going to ask GPR to make note of this, I want to be sure that we're dealing with the same particular set of plans that Mark Wetzel has. And what I mean by that is I cite what I'll call job number 17-1002. This is the set of plans that we're dealing with. So I hope we're on base with that. If there are other plans, I need to know that, because these are the ones that we've taken in. These are ones we'll approve, and you'll get our signature at the end if all goes well. I suspect it will, but we've got a long way to go. Are these the plans?
The drawings that had been given to Mark Wetzel had not been finalized and stamped, because we were just saying, look, we have addressed all of your comments. There's mainly just notes. There's no planimetric changes.
Okay.
So we have a set here, Mr. Chairman, tonight.
Okay.
That has all the appropriate engineering stamps on it.
Okay.
It is materially the same. And if Mr. Wetzel or his assistant...
Well, that's the ones I'd want presented to us, and then I would give those over to Mark and make sure that...
Yes.
So that we're not looking at two different sets
Correct.
of plans. So you have a set of plans for me tonight?
Yes, I do.
Okay. By the way, I want to thank our town administrator for standing in for my zoning administrator who couldn't be here tonight. Robert is going to take notes, so if you just leave them with Robert, we'll take it from here. Yep. So again, another issue that comes to mind is know ahead of time that the planning board will require a surety bond on the project. Okay, I want to make sure that once whatever is constructed, that if it fails at some point 20 years down the road, that we've got a bond in place to make sure you leave the place better than you found it. On record, we have a DPW response so far from Mr. Wetzel. I believe it was dated August. That was the latest, I think, that 31 August, from Mark to GPR for response.
Yes, he issued his comment.
So that's the document right now that we're keen on as to, quote, full satisfaction. The fact that that's a 5-page document, I don't expect to bring that out again. We've got 90 days again to answer all the questions, but I fully suspect the board wants complete satisfaction with DPW's memo of 31 August.
Mr. Chairman, we're prepared to answer all those
Okay,
concerns and address them tonight.
There are some other matters that are still dangling out there. I believe the width of the road from the fire chief is an issue. We will work through those as I get all of, because I don't have all of the comments back yet from town departments. I don't believe I do. In fact, I know I haven't. So anyway, having said that, at some point over the next 30 to 60 days, we will get them from our town departments, because as you may know, we now have a full-time zoning administrator again. We now have a full-time, as of September 26th, we'll have Mark Ashenbo, our full-time planner. One of his first tasks is going to be make sure that we answer all of the questions in the town department side. And also, I have before me a matter of record as signed by the, I'll call them abutters, interested citizens, the document of 3 August addressing some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4-page document of 7 questions in great detail that need to be addressed. Now, I know that we've also forwarded those questions to GPR, and again, over the course of time with this project, we will get hopefully full satisfaction to answers. Know ahead of time that I don't particularly plan tonight on addressing those questions again, because we, as a town, are still waiting for our legal response to that same set of questions. In addition to legal, I want to pose to our new planner, who is eminently qualified, I will tell you, if you didn't happen to see him during his appointment process. I'm going to get his opinion as well on those particular abutter questions. So in any event, I want to reassure the people in the room that your planning board is going to do this and do it right. And with that, I will open it up now to the floor. First to my board, questions, comments.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair, I have to be back at work at 6:30. Is that all right?
Okay. Well, let me first set a continuation
Do we
date.
need a vote? That's
Yeah.
what I'm asking.
Yeah, I need a continuation date then that is agreeable to the board to show up. Now, we have a regularly scheduled meeting coming up, I believe, on October 5th. Is that a Thursday? Who's got a
October 5th is the next meeting, yes,
calendar
sir.
right quick?
October 5th is the next meeting. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
I would propose then that we continue this discussion on the public hearing at that meeting, because to me, the quicker the better. To continue, if that's acceptable to the applicant.
Do you have a subsequent date, Mr. Chairman? Unfortunately,
Again, I need to work with you.
yes. Unfortunately, I'm traveling out of state that date.
Okay,
and
what's the
yes,
following Thursday?
The 12th.
Columbus Day holiday?
That's
That's a Monday.
It's a Monday that week. It'd be the
It's a Thursday, the
The
12th.
12th.
Unless you're in Maine, of course, but no, sorry.
I am,
October 12th?
Monday, Wednesday, or Friday?
yeah,
So I need a date from the board, tell me.
I can do the 11th, which is Wednesday.
I'm with him.
I can, Mark has a restraint on Thursday evenings. I'm willing to make it Wednesday night, make it work if it would
Okay,
work for the
11th?
board.
Is that good for you, Sue?
What about the week before? Montezut Regional Training Day is meeting that.
Well, this
You can skip
This is
that.
for
is really-
Kim, you got it?
October 11th at 6:15? Okay, then, I need a motion to continue the hearing.
Pardon, Mr. Chairman, how about the 12th, or is that not possible?
We won't have a quorum, we possibly won't have a quorum on the 12th.
Yeah, we're down a member, so.
So it's a challenge for us to get a quorum.
Right.
Thank you, appreciate being flexible on that level.
I'm the only one that's retired 5 times, so.
I would move that we would schedule continuance for, can we say 6:30? Will that work for you?
Yeah, Wednesdays?
Wednesday, October 11th at 6:30.
Well, I'd like to keep it at 6:15.
6:15, fine.
Is
That works.
good? Okay.
Works for me.
Wednesday, October
11th.
11th, 6:15.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None? Unanimous. Now, at this time, I've rescheduled a date, but I'm not going to close this particular public hearing at this time. I do want to allow, as much as I can, time allowed for are there any new questions before us?
Mr.
Okay,
Chairman,
I hear silence, that's a good
Mr.
thing.
Chairman, we are prepared to address the abutters questions tonight,
Okay,
which would probably be a good way to start the hearing.
okay, then proceed.
If I could,
And if you would, for the record, I need signatures on my sign-in board.
yes, we've signed it.
Introduce one more time for, I see familiar faces in the room, but I want to make sure everybody knows who you are.
Pass that back there, please.
Yeah, Jim, names for the record.
Introduce yourself for the record, please.
I will, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I'm Adam Costa. I was before you twice recently. We were first before you in early August, and then we were before you again in early September. At least a couple of you didn't have a quorum that evening. We had sort of an informal meeting back on August 3rd, at which time we presented the project in a general sense, and we took that opportunity to get some feedback from board members and also to get some input from the members of the community who attended that meeting and had some comments, some concerns, some grievances, and so I thought that meeting was put to good use. We also received prior to and then a further copy at the meeting which you lacked a quorum in early September, a copy of that letter that you, Mr. Chairman, referenced a few moments ago that was received from several residents. They identified themselves as abutters to the site that raised a number of enumerated concerns, 7 in total, and provided some detail on each of those concerns. I've just provided to you, and I certainly don't expect you to read it in great detail tonight, but I provided you with a 4-page letter that addresses in the same numbered fashion as that letter from the abutters did, the various concerns that were raised. In some cases, the issues were legal issues, and I did my best to try and simplify them and to address them. In other instances, those questions pertain to project characteristics or site characteristics, things like landscaping or screening, and we made an effort to address those not so much in a legal sense, but by reference to not only the standards contained in your bylaw to the extent that they apply, but also by reference to the plans and the design for the project that we've presented and that we've fine-tuned through our interactions with the various town officials and town departments. So I'm certainly happy to address those 1 through 7 now if you'd like. If you'd like to take the opportunity, I know time is short tonight, to maybe speak in some detail to a few of the specific points. For example, there was a concern raised with the perspective on the site. And I know that we have some perspectives that have been prepared, some cross sections that will show different vantage points of this particular proposal from neighboring properties, and those could certainly be explained to you by Cal or by Kyle. Similarly, there were some questions about some of the zoning requirements, things like a frontage requirement or a minimum open space requirement. And again, that's better reference is made to the plans, which show specifically how those have been calculated and what the numbers are and how they relate to the number of lots that we're working with here for purposes of the project. So I'm going to look to you, Mr. Chairman, for some guidance as to what you'd like us to touch upon.
What I really need to do, because it's a comprehensive document, and I'm sure the response is equally as comprehensive, I do want to take a quote under advisement, and I want to address it formally in an unlimited meeting, if you will, on October 11th. Again, time
That'd be fine.
constraint, I don't think we can do this properly in 29 minutes. And I'll be in trouble if I'm not where I'm supposed to be at 8 o'clock. But I do want to know, do we have copies that can be given to the abutters tonight?
Yes, I have a few additional copies with me this evening that can be
Okay.
provided.
I believe Ken or Kevin, if you could be, I think you were spokesman for the group.
Yep.
Would you accept a copy this evening to Mr. Ken Diskey and Mr. Kevin Hogan?
Couple copies.
And what I would like the group to do, to go back and massage that document to the degree that, and then be prepared on October 11th, I think, along with our DPW superintendent, to be able to answer all the issues before us. Kyle, you had a question, or you wanted to?
I go to the chair for guidance about visual representations. If that Mondo pad, I guess, is available and it would support Mr. Costa's explanation, or, in the
So
limited time we
what's
have.
changed from the last meeting on the
There have been numerous notes on the cover sheet to address the DPW director's concerns about connections to the public water and sewer supplies,
Mhm.
which are simply, procedural notes, permitting notes stating that, of course, DPW approval is required and permitting's.
That's addressed in the DPW memo.
Yes.
Right. So what?
This is an answer to those
So
DPW
you've
comments.
included,
Well,
you've included the
again,
answers
the
on the
goal is to
plans.
get those
Yes.
answers, the
Yeah.
goal is to get those answers to the DPW director. He's not here. So
Yes.
we're aware of the issues before us, but I need the answers to be given to.
Understood. There are no other changes to plans.
Okay, good.
That's correct.
Thank you. Robert, question?
Mr. Chairman, through you and the planning board, also just for the record and the public's benefit, in addition to the letter submitted by council on October 11th, the Airtown Councils will have their responses as well. So I just wanted for the record, as per you, they've been sent to our
I was
council.
looking for an early response. Again, I expect our DPW director to be back by then.
Yes, he will be back.
And get a response as to what satisfaction.
And certainly, I would just ask the board to be sure that a copy of my letter makes its way to council as well, so that if there's a response required, that could be provided,
No doubt.
hopefully at the same time.
No doubt.
That'd be great. One thing I do want to touch upon, Mr. Chairman, because you referenced it in your opening remarks, was this concept of a surety bond, and a decommissioning plan is something that had been mentioned at the first meeting as well. So that was one of the comments in the abutter letter that we received, and so it's specifically number 4 in the letter, and it's a one to which I responded beginning at the bottom of page 2 of my letter, and I'll let you read the response yourselves. But essentially, what I've stated is that certainly we have no objection to that request. It's something that is required with some frequency with these sorts of projects. It's usually required in the context of a specific bylaw that's been adopted by the municipality that requires it. And in Ayer, you don't have one, but we're not. We understand that it's a reasonable request, and so we have prepared and we will provide to you a recommendation with respect to the form of surety bond. Is it part of the package?
Right,
It's part of the
I
package you
mentioned that
just got.
specifically because I'm not in favor of, quote, a letter of credit or
Understood.
creative
Nor am I.
financing to get there. So
Nor am
that's
I.
why, okay.
I represent a number of towns that we've had some issues with collecting on letters of credit, so
Right.
I appreciate that, and that's not what we're proposing. So we've got a letter for you that proposes a mechanism, and then we've got a cost estimate as well that we've included for purposes of applying that formula to real numbers.
Right.
And then we've also included a formal decommissioning plan that describes the process for decommissioning when and if that were to occur.
Okay.
So we've got all that information submitted as part of the rolled packages of plans that you have provided to you
I
tonight.
think you've answered the issues of order of conditions as well.
We have an order of conditions, it's been issued by the Conservation Commission.
Any further questions from the board? Any questions from the Ken?
I just wanted to remind the board, I probably don't have to remind them, but we obviously have more comments than from the Department of Public Works. We have comments from Charles Schultz, the building commissioner, we have comments from the office.
Well, that's what I meant when I said about town
All of those
departments.
comments
Right.
are on the table for discussion later.
Right.
Okay, so
Right.
that's.
Yep, yep.
So we should ask for those.
We have not received Charles Schultz's comments. Have we gotten everybody else's, the fire chiefs?
If I may, Mr. Chairman, we had received all department comments on August 3rd, an email from the Assistant Town Administrator.
Right.
So, except for DPW, and the building commissioner. We've received DPW's comments. We have not seen the building commissioner's comments.
Okay. Robert, you put an asterisk by that one?
Mr. Chairman, through you to the planning board and the public, we will get those from Commissioner Schultz transmitted to GPR, the planning board, and to any interested abutters. Because I know that the building commissioner does have comments.
Yeah, because the planning board doesn't have any either.
Right, we'll make,
I kept both folders right in front of me.
Yeah.
The last I believe I got from Mr. Schultz was the issue of whether or not we were to require the site plan at all. One interesting question, which you don't have to answer, but I would ask. It intrigued me when you, how do I phrase this? When you went forward on the site plan but didn't have to, and/or I can see that in the public interest, and I appreciate that. But the other aspect is on the appeal process. You're appealing so that you can appeal later.
I'm happy to clarify that because there's
If you would, just
sure there's no funny business, and I've had open conversations with your town council about what we were doing and why we were doing it because
Right.
there was some confusion.
right,
So as you know, we originally made application to your board for site plan approval.
right,
One of the responses we received from your building commissioner is that site plan approval wasn't required. We
Right.
generally concurred with that, and so we withdrew our application. We then received an appeal waged by a resident to the zoning
Right.
board of appeals, and the zoning board of appeals overturned and reversed the determination by the building commissioner. So we were then in a position where we had two options. One was to appeal that determination and essentially defend the decision of the building commissioner that we don't require site plan approval. That appeal would go to land court or superior court. That, of course, like any appeal, is a lengthy
It'll be a
process. It's a
process,
costly
yeah.
process.
Costly process.
But nevertheless, we felt that the building inspector got it right, and with respect to your ZBA, that your ZBA got it wrong. At the same time, we recognized that we had already been willing to make application to your board for site plan approval.
Right.
We only withdrew because we were told we didn't need it.
Right.
And so it made a lot of
Oh, I
sense
see.
to
Okay.
make a reapplication. But we wanted to vest our rights. We didn't want to relinquish, if this process doesn't go as we hope that it will,
Right.
we didn't want to relinquish the right to challenge the very basic determination that we need site plan approval, and we don't believe that we need it under the statute. So we filed an appeal, but I immediately contacted your town council and said, I don't intend to pursue this appeal unless I have to. And in fact, to the contrary, I'm going to appear before your planning board in late September, at that point it was early September, and make a presentation in an effort to get site plan approval. And if we obtain site plan approval, if that site plan approval is not challenged, we will likely simply relinquish the appeal that's pending in the court.
Clear.
So,
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Comments then from, okay, well, rest assured, we'll see you on October 11th. I hope to have answers from our legal counsel. I hope to have answers to a large degree on DPW. We will get, as soon as possible, any responses outlying from, I think, Fire Chief on the road, and has that been cleared?
I did speak with the,
Fire Chief?
excuse me, Mr. Chairman, I did speak with the fire chief about the question about the width of the driveway.
Right.
And he said as long as he could get a fire truck in,
Right.
he would be fine.
20
because
feet.
It was it's an appropriate width
Okay.
as it was. And actually, one of the DPW's comments was requesting to show the fire truck routing coming in, which is now reflected on the plan as well.
Okay, good, good.
So,
This will answer a lot of questions.
yes.
Okay, well, there you have it. Ken, go ahead.
What just happened, actually, I have a question about, and that is when a question is brought up in writing by the fire department and oral response is provided by the applicant, are we to take that as being the done deal, or do we?
No,
Is
no.
it back and forth, now the applicant
No,
will give
nothing.
a written response to the fire
It's all going to
department?
be written in their response, and then it will be written in our decision on site plan approval.
Because there's a number of questions beyond
Right.
that particular
No,
question, and it refers to code sections and so forth.
Right, we will itemize on our site plan decision the tenets of our agreement.
And lastly, when we get to the next meeting, we will have additional questions. We
Oh, yeah.
can continue to bring them up then.
Right, yeah. Yeah, again, keep in mind, we've got 90 days to do this. Now, I'm not relaxing on that because we've just set a meeting for October 11th. I want to get this done as quickly as possible for all concerned. So we're not, we're not hesitating just because we've got 90 days to do it. I think that's a reasonable amount of time for you to digest this response tonight, and for us to allow time for our legal and DPW responses and the rest of our departments. So,
Okay. We appreciate the expediency. We understand that there's a review that needs to be undertaken, but obviously we'd like to keep the process moving forward.
Right,
so.
right.
Mr. Chairman, I ask, do we have any other business, Heather's not here this evening, do we have any other business that's scheduled for our next meeting, which we've now scheduled for?
I think there's just an A&R
Okay.
coming up in the near future, so this is the matter before us for
Yeah, I just
the
want to make sure
foreseeable
that,
future.
you know, we're not aware of lots of stuff going on, because I'd like to make the,
Not too much,
in
no.
order to best use the residents' time,
No,
let them
It's
know.
wide
I
open right
cleared
now.
email
Okay, great,
today,
thanks.
so
Thanks.
we're focused on you.
Good.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Motion to adjourn?
I was going to say, sir, would you like to motion for adjournment?
Do I have a second? I need a second. I need a second. It's worse than mine. All in favor? Aye.